providing simple tips to fast-track your business, professional, and personal success. As Bonnie says, yes, you can. You just don't know it yet.
Hello, we're back with the motivational marketer, Bonnie Habyan.
Yes.
Yay!
We're glad to have you.
Gina was talking earlier. Where have you been seeing Bonnie?
Everywhere. She's been
in New York City.
I mean, and your hometown. Where's your hometown?
Well, we lived in New York for 25 years, but now we live in Bluffton, South Carolina. So quite the difference. Quite the difference. But I must tell you, it's cold here today. Yeah, you do. It's lovely.
Well, we have my husband's family's from Savannah. He had an aunt that lived in Bluffton. I know it very well. Yes.
Well, Bonnie's been signing
I'm gonna have to call you.
she's been signing a lot of books lately.
She has.
And the book is The World According to Bess, and it is a tribute to her mom and growing up. And it's a beautiful book, and it's looks at life almost
through her eyes a little bit.
Also from a caregiver perspective a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. I look back and, I just lost my mom not too long ago, so it's been a lovely tribute to her. And because of the book, it's been, I'm able to keep that journey with me. But she grew up in a time so different, especially as a woman. She went to ninth grade, and her life, she just didn't have anyone to kind of pull her into the pack and say, hey, I see something in you. Let me, you should go to school. Or she didn't have a mentor. She didn't have any of those things. So it was very interesting that she was able to pass that on to me to say, hey, go to college, get a good job, make your own money. And now I've passed that on to my daughter. And I just think that's a generational lesson that will go on forever. And it lives through her book. So that is a really, really special thing.
I know. It's such a blessing. I love seeing that. And I know it's bittersweet with your mom passing recently, but just such a beautiful tribute, like you were saying. Just amazing that you get to carry this on forever and have this.
I do. It's been super cool. And the people I hear from
have it and carry it on and pass this down. It's wonderful. So let's get to business here, Miss
That's
Marketing
right. 2023 is coming up.
Quickly.
And people are assessing their lives or their business or their brand, and they're like, I got to do something different or do a check. Am I doing this correctly? So Bonnie has a plan for us. Some things that you need to get your pen and write it down.
Right. And it doesn't have to be that hard. Think about it. We all make these grand New Year's commitments, right? Let's make our New Year's resolution. And we know 90% of them just fall at the wayside a few weeks. That's because they're so uncomplicated, right? We need to start and look at our lives as we do a business plan. Don't you think our life deserves that? I think it does. If we just take a few things, I'm not saying you need to go write some kind of long dissertation. I'm saying, let me think about 3 things I want to accomplish this year. Maybe something's in my health related. Maybe something's a relationship related. Maybe something business related. Take those 3 things that you really, really want to move the needle on, and then write little mini goals towards each of them. Break it down. You may have something, hey, I want to be healthier. So, well, what are 3 things that are going to help you get there? You need to go to your doctor for a physical. Maybe you're going to look at your eating and change and adopt some sort of new eating routine. And you know what? You're going to incorporate one fun activity a week that you're going to do religiously. And I'm telling you, by breaking it down and making it into bite-sized chunks of small, attainable goals, you will move that needle and move it quickly.
Small is good, because if you try to do too much too soon, it becomes overwhelming, and then you just...
literally, if you're like, I'm just going to get on this treadmill for 5 minutes, you're probably going to stay for 15 minutes. You might stay for half an hour.
That is true.
The whole thing is stepping on it. But allow yourself, like, today I'm going to do 10 minutes. And then, and if you do 10 minutes, you do 10 minutes. That's better than doing nothing.
I think I'll do 15.
And then, maybe tomorrow you do 12 minutes. So it's all baby steps sometimes.
And I think as well as, feeling that what that goal is going to feel like now. So, I know when I wrote that book, all I kept thinking about was sitting in Barnes & Noble with my mom. That is what drove me for 7 years. But I kept thinking about that when things got hard, right? When I got overwhelmed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to, how do I get a pre-reader group, and how am I going to get my website built? I kept focusing on that larger, bigger goal. And that really drives you. And that brings me to point number 2, which is really critical, is you have to be persistent and consistent. There is just no way of achieving anything unless you are persistent, which is the hallmark of success. It is really all about grit and doing a little bit every day. Just like you said, Amy, 10 minutes on the treadmill every day. Think about it. If you took $50, and I calculated this, $50 and put it into your bank account every single day, religiously for 25 years, maybe earned, you let it compound, but maybe you earned, a very safe 4%, you're close to $1 million.
Yes.
If you can do something like that, and I would tell my daughter that, I'm going to call her and tell her that right away. If you start doing small things like that every day and just stay religiously with it, it will move the needle as well. You have to push through that. And we know being consistent is doing something even when it's hard.
Right.
That could be, being on that treadmill. It could be many things. Just keep your eye on that target of what you want to achieve.
It could be,
absolutely.
It could be trying to network and sitting down at LinkedIn for a few minutes and trying to have some synergy with someone. It could be, okay, I'm a writer. I'm going to find 3 other Facebook pages that would allow me to post my book, or I'm going to try to find 3 book clubs that would have me as a guest. Just small things that could make a huge difference in the course of moving your life or your business in the right direction.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm a big proponent. I love Eleanor Roosevelt and all the beautiful things she said over her life. And she said one thing that really resonates with me. And she says, I am who I am today because of what I did yesterday.
Right.
No one gets where they want to be overnight. It's just like how you built your brands. I mean, it's slow, it's consistent. I mean, I see you guys on social and you're constantly building that brand. And I appreciate that because I get it. And I think most people have to understand they can't be afraid of that big goal that's out there because it's overwhelming. Just keep your head down and do a little bit every day and think about how great it's going to feel once you make it. And you will.
And sometimes we knock it out of the park, and sometimes we get one like. Oh, I forgot to say their favorite Christmas movies. We'll have to do that next.
We can do it. Maybe we'll have time.
Okay.
What is your favorite Christmas movie? Well, we didn't.
Oh my gosh. What's my favorite
What's your favorite Christmas movie? We were supposed to talk about that earlier.
I watch 3 religiously.
Okay.
I watch them probably 20 times each. It's a Wonderful Life. I love Family Stone. Yes! And I love The Family Man.
Oh, I don't know The Family Stone is my favorite. That and Holiday, and it's wonderful. Those are very popular, and
they
were
popular.
very, very popular.
Okay,
sorry, I didn't mean to get off on that tangent.
And then the next one is
you have to take strategic risks. Okay, again, not like I'm going to go spend money I don't have. I'm saying if you want to be a PTO president one day, start serving on a committee. Start saying, okay, there's an opportunity. I'm going to seize that because, as I said earlier, you don't know that opportunity that is there today may not be there tomorrow. So sometimes you have to be a little uncomfortable and go for it because it's the time to do it. You may not have that opportunity again. If you see a promotion or a job at work and you're thinking, do I want to put my hat in the ring? Well, maybe it's not the right time. Just like whenever, you're thinking about having a baby, it's never the right time, right? Maybe I should wait. No, push yourself a little bit. It's because you will not get anywhere staying the same. And if you don't, change and move, you don't grow and you won't hit that successful milestone that you want to. So think about a few things you want to do. If the opportunity presents itself, seize it.
And let me say this, because being older, aging, middle years of life,
I'm right there with you.
Whatever that is, it's hard because there's a lot of fear that comes into play, I think, Bonnie, and you've conquered that. I mean, this book, right, and getting out there, and Amy, and what we're doing, and this came later in life for me. I think that's the hardest thing for me, and I know for a lot of people, is the fear. It's like, well, what will people think of me?
Well,
and the judgment that comes along with doing something different or risky at this stage of life. And you got to, once you get over that hurdle and you see, okay, I did it. It's not that bad. There's a lot of insecurity,
If you think about it, if you take a strategic risk, 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to succeed or you're going to learn a lot about the journey and grow from it. So either way, as long as it's not really a lot of money involved, you can overcome those things and you do become stronger because of it, for sure. And failure is part of it.
Failing is part of it at times.
Oh, yeah, right? I mean, listen, we've all been there. And I think...
Oh, I've been there.
Many times. And that's
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time you fail, you're I love that saying. I can't remember the exact words, where it's like, every time you fail, it's like you are now a little guidebook for somebody that comes into your life. You're like, whoa, don't do that. Or you can give them some insight. So your failure is normally not wasted. It's really not. You grow, or you can help somebody else in the future. So it's like, don't let failure hold you back. It's like, okay, that didn't work. Well, what will work?
Yeah, so you've got to, like you said, push through it. That's the key, and that's the hardest thing to do. And surrounding yourself. And Bonnie, I know you would probably agree with this, and I know you've surrounded yourself with friends and family supporting you on this book journey that have probably helped you get where you are. And you have to find people, surround yourself with good people that will support you. Don't you agree? And then help you push through on the difficult time.
You do. And I will tell you, I mean, it is, you feel very, very vulnerable putting yourself out, especially when you put a book out. And, I had a friend or two who at first was like, I didn't really like it. And this was kind of in the draft, proposal. And if I had stopped then, this never would have happened. But you know what? In your heart, or you feel something, a little bit of a higher power or a passion, you just go for it. And thank goodness I did,
Yes, and weren't discouraged, because something is not for everyone. Your book has a comedic flair to it.
It does.
And, so does mine. And it's just like, I don't like that, kind of humor or whatever. And then, but for every one person, there's 100 people, Bonnie, that do like it. And so you can't just do something to please. And what's shocking really quickly, and you kind of pointed on this, the people that you think are going to support you the most don't support you, and people that you're like, what? And they come out of the blue and they support you like crazy. So it's you kind of have to release your expectations of that and let it just move forward, and the pieces do fall into place. It's interesting.
They do. And that can be hurtful too, don't you think? When like you made a very good point, Amy, because in our journey of doing what we're doing, and your book and comedy and all the things that we do, some of the people that you think would support you and or show up for you,
interested at all,
and they don't, and then
Gina, we only got 2 minutes.
Oh, but then other people come around like you said that you least expect.
They do.
And you're
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
But you can't let that affect your plan or your focus. You have to.
Patty, we have 2 minutes.
So
number 5.
We will get it in. Okay. Well, no, we're actually on number 4. You have to up your personal brand. Make sure that whatever you're looking to be, you start being that now. So if you want to become, a CEO, or you want to become a VP, whatever it is, start doing that now. Be authentic. Figure out who your target audience is, and start to network. Number 5, and this is what we were just talking about pretty much in depth, so this will really be spot on, is block out that noise, right? Block out the naysayers. Social media, comparing yourself to others. I am just as guilty as that. When I see someone do a great post, why couldn't mine go viral like that? Or why didn't
they sold 1 million books?
Really, really, really careful, right? Block out that noise and make sure that you just keep your eye on the target, because you can do it. Absolutely. You just have to put some blinders on and do the other things I said. And I'm telling you, you will see some movement.
All right. It's awesome. And is that it? We've got all of the...
we went through the... Yes, we went through the top.
Wow. I'm so glad. I was like, what if we run out of things? Okay, Bonnie, tell people where they can follow you buy the book. And Bonnie also is available for speaking engagements. That's the next thing that she's excited about. So tell people where they can reach you.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you just Google Bonnie Habyan or Meet Bonnie H, I have a website that has all of my items on it. The book
Habyan.
H-A-Y-A-N.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody wants to flip it around.
Yes.
But and as well, the book is in any place where they sell books. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Amazon is probably the easiest, right? Yes. Everyone loves Amazon.
They make it so easy to order books. They really do.
They do. I'm like addicted to that company. I don't know what I would do without it, but so you can find it there. And I do speaking. I speak a lot about women supporting other women, and also about how to make your life, treat your life like a business plan. I think we all need to adopt that a little bit, and we will do okay.
And before you leave, are you pro Megan or not? Just quickly, you could throw that in, Bonnie.
I watched the whole thing. Now, listen, Amy, you gave me a little bit. I didn't see this last series of whatever you're talking about. The guy being mean, wanting to do.
Tell us how you feel.
Oh, it wasn't on the show. It just happened in the news.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see that.
The British tabloids attacking her viciously. Go ahead.
I waver, because Gina, I think you're right. Like, you had to know you were getting into something like that. Yeah. But on the flip side,
she was 30-something years old. She met him.
Yeah.
He's the prince. He's this. Come on, Amy. Sorry, Bonnie. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think at this point, I think they're able to monetize and make their own life and do whatever they want. I just don't know if it's going to continue to serve a purpose. I think at some point people are like, all right, you know what? I think they need to move on and really
agree.
kind of brand themselves
They're probably
differently.
done now. I think they're done. They got it out. He's getting the book out.
I think so.
And then they've already got some Netflix advertising some shows that they're producing that aren't about them. They're about world leaders. And so they got that out of their system. They're moving on. I love them. Okay, Bonnie, we'll see you next year. Different time and different place,
Merry
but we'll
Christmas,
see you, girl.
Happy New Year. Enjoy
love
your
you.
daughter being home and buy the book, The World According to
Thank you,
Beth.
guys.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Love you.
Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye. Happy holidays to you.
Yeah, I got